So we're live.
All right. Good morning.
Hope everybody's good this morning. Can you all hear us? Can anybody hear us?
Hello.
I'll take anybody right now. I don't know. Yes, they can hear us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's baking cookies. I don't know who
I
that
saw
is.
that. Yeah. So I just need to I almost canceled this. I
Oh
mean
no.
I almost said I don't want to be a part of this today.
Oh no.
Um so Rob Reiner lost his life last night.
I heard. I didn't get the details, but I
Him and
heard.
his wife, and it looks like they were unalived by one of their kids.
What?
Yep.
Oh my! I didn't.
and
I just
and
saw
that
the
was, yep,
headline. I
Nick.
didn't read it.
Supposedly Nick Reiner is in custody, and he's somebody that struggled with drugs, and that's the only reason why I said to myself that I will that I'm going to come on.
Oh
So I
my.
just want to talk for a second to why this affected me so much, because literally it fucking devastated me this morning. So those of you that know me know that I was a writer for about 40 years, and I had people that I looked forward to that were directors, that when I went to go see a movie, I knew that I wouldn't be let down. I knew that I would spend my money wisely. I knew that they would take me out of reality for 2 hours. Rob Reiner was one of them. And I've always had like a love for him because my favorite show was All in the Family, and I've talked about that before. And his dad, Carl Reiner, was somebody that wrote the Dick Van Dyke Show, which was a show that all of these people inspired my writing.
Mm.
And I would hear, like, I had to write to these people. You sent your scripts out way back when, and you would send them. I mean, I was a kid when obviously I started writing when I was 12, so I would send my scripts out. So my
Mm.
first script I ever sent out was written in pencil on a yellow legal pad, and it
Oh
was written to Fawcett and Majors Productions. Lee Majors and Farrah Fawcett, they were married,
yeah.
at that, and they had a production company, and so I sent them that. But throughout the years, I started writing to people that I admired, and one of the people that I admired was like Neil Simon.
Mm-hmm.
And Neil Simon and I wrote back and forth for years. I mean, for years. I mean, I wouldn't say we didn't write to each other all the time, but anytime I wrote something, I would ask him to read it. And he would always say, that he couldn't read it. And he was so kind that I would even say, can you just leave it in the bathroom and just read a page at a time? I don't care if it's there, as long as it's there. Anyway, ultimately, he had sent me tickets to go see Rumors on Broadway in DC. Neil Simon. He was a really great guy, as far as somebody always encouraging, a writer, but so I always had like, an affinity towards these creators and everything. And so I followed Rob Reiner's career, and I remember going to see Stand By Me and seeing his name come up as director, because you didn't have IMDb back then. You know what I mean? So, surprise, Rob Reiner, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember him doing Stand By Me as a director, and I was just blown away. And then Harry Met Sally, and so, like, he had such a track record of taking me out of my shit life and bringing me to and into a world of entertainment for a couple hours.
Right.
And I never once, felt like shit, I want my money back or something like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
But then it goes beyond that, because he was an activist. he was a powerful activist in the fact that he had resources to put his money where his mouth is. So he's somebody that stood up for uh, marriage equality and the underdog.
Yeah.
And because he had the following he had, he was a very important part of our team per se. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because he was something, he was a person that I aligned with. I mean, I aligned with him in how he saw the world and what he wanted for the world, and the fact that he was taken out in such a brutal way by somebody that he knew and loved, if that's true, was just something that fucking I broke down this morning over that, and just thought, wow, not only did we lose somebody that was he was so good at not just writing but entertaining in telling his story as a director, and then to turn around and become an activist where he put himself on the line. I mean, I get shit, I get hate, I get hate, and I don't have the platform he had, and he was political, so he got more hate than I ever got, but he kept going along and along and along. He kept going.
Right.
And yeah, I'm brokenhearted this morning. I'm just brokenhearted over that. So yeah.
It's hard enough when someone is taken out in that manner, but when it's, their child who supposedly did it, I mean, I just think it makes it even worse,
Oh, absolutely. Because, in my head, I have this vision of him, right? I have this vision of him in my head saying, so what are you going to do? Stab me now? In his almost like Archie Bunker type way, that nonchalant type way. And yeah, his son saying, yeah, as a matter of fact, I am, So yeah, that's just really fucked up that this is the world in which we live in. And yeah, we definitely are going to suffer a loss here with him. Definitely with him not being here. I don't know much about his wife. She's a photographer, I believe, but they've been married, I mean, forever. His first marriage was to Penny Marshall. I don't know if you know that, from Laverne and Shirley.
Yes. Yeah.
And she was a great storyteller too, and a great director. I mean, she did a lot of stuff. League of Their Own. I mean, and a brilliant actress. No,
Yeah.
they had, like, I want to say that they have like three. They have 3 or 4 kids. His son had a drug problem, is what I heard, but I don't want to spread false narratives. But I mean, I heard it from a few. So yeah. I mean, like, we want to talk about addiction, right? So, I mean, this guy had all the money, like, and he couldn't fix this fucking problem. And look at what happened right before Christmas. Somebody said, and it's Christmas time. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. 10 days before Christmas. So 11 days before Christmas, he lost his life by being apparently brutally attacked.
And, and the way that it was done, it probably wasn't quick. It was painful and
yeah, I bet you, because that's even what they were saying, that, you try to run away, from the situation to, I'm sure that there's a lot of stuff that's going to come out. I'm probably going to cover it.
Yeah.
I did a little video that I was editing before I came in to this one.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it just covers so much. First of all, you can wrap Gypsy Rose into this just because of, a younger a family member went ahead and unalived the mom and a dad here. Of course, it has nothing to do with that, but like the sensationalism of that kind of brutality to your family, to your mom and dad.
Yeah, you got to be pretty something definitely isn't right if you're able to do that, whether it's drugs, mental illness, or, something snapped in that guy. Definitely.
Well, apparently they have him in custody. I would assume that there will be more things that come out
Right.
as far as what happened there.
Yeah.
But I do believe that his son had a drug problem.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll hear more, in the next couple of days.
Yep.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it is. Certainly is. Heartbreaking. Especially because he was more than just an entertainer. He was somebody that spoke for people that couldn't be heard. He was the voice for people that couldn't be heard, and he put his money where his mouth was. I don't know who he was at home, obviously,
Right.
but he wasn't supposed to be my dad. He was just supposed to be, you know, who he was, Rob Reiner, the writer, director, actor, creator.
Right.
It's from his mind that he was part of the writing in Spinal Tap, and they were just coming out with Spinal Tap 2, the return of Spinal Tap. That mockumentary about the rock band and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Yeah, it's a really big movie as far as, with almost like a cult following per se.
Hmm.
Yeah. So what would you like to bring to the table? Because that's what I brought.
Well, I mean, this is just, it's just sad. And like I said, I mean, addiction, mental illness, you just don't know what someone is capable of when they're dealing with that. And I'm sure, you know, going to bed last night or whenever this happened, I don't think the, parents thought, well, our kid's going to come in here and do away with us tonight. I don't think you ever think that's possible.
No.
It's just sad. You just don't know. And, we don't know what happened in their house or anybody's for that matter. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You really don't. So
You said that a long time ago when you were talking about the Gregors and their home.
Right. You don't know what goes on. Well, I have a little inkling of what goes on or went on behind closed doors at their house, because dealing with DCP&P and them, and I would hear from DCP&P what was said over there. So I have an idea what was going on in their house, but technically we don't know what's going on in other people's homes. We don't know. We don't know what happened in this situation. Was there an argument prior to, you don't know. You have no idea.
I'm looking at it now and it just says that he was struggling. Rob Reiner's son, Nick Reiner, I'm sorry.
How old was he?
Moved back into the house a few days ago.
Oh boy.
I don't know. Let me see. He was an adult, obviously, but let me see. Nick, Tracy, Jake, and Romy. I think he has 2 boys and 2 girls.
Wow.
32.
Wow. Well, so if he just recently moved back home, I'm sure it was everybody was trying to adjust, so I'm sure it was probably a not a pleasant environment right now. They were probably trying to just get used to him being there and
probably said no a few times. Probably said no a few times.
Probably several times,
This person said that Nick was addicted to drugs. He was homeless and refused to go back to rehab.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, sad.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Toddy, how many times this might happen in other homes, but we don't hear about it because it's not a well-known person. Do you know what I mean?
Well, let
And
me tell you something. If you are online covering true crime, unfortunately, you
you
often
do
hear
hear,
about it
yeah,
because a
you
lot
have
of the
to.
shit's going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the big concern over Gypsy Rose being an influencer. That's why it outraged us
Right,
because she's influencing people of weaker mind. And they're
right,
thinking, oh, if I do a crime and I'm even 16 years old, maybe I won't even be charged as an adult. But if I'm charged as an adult, I'll get off in 10 years. By the time I'm 26, man, I'm out and about. I'll have a
right.
social media presence,
Yeah.
you know.
She's you know, Gypsy made people think that what she did was okay. You know, you get out, you make some money now, you know, everything's good. Someone else is sitting in jail, you know.
Prison for life. Prison
Yeah,
for life. Yep.
yeah. Sickening. I can't stand her.
Well, with all this new stuff coming out, jump on
And
board because everybody's turn now.
you know, I don't like to pick on how somebody looks, you know, because it was done to me and it's upsetting. But I thought she got a new nose and stuff. What happened? Because
So,
in some of her pictures, she's not looking so great.
well, because she had not just a beak, and I mean the shape of a beak, okay?
Right.
But um she had a bump going down. That's what she got repaired. Just the
Okay.
bump. The shape is still the same. It's still a fucking beak.
Yeah, I think she must use a lot of filters and a
He
lot of her
definitely
stuff,
does.
and
Definitely
then
does.
others not so much because some of the pictures I see, she's not looking great. So she must have got caught without a filter or something. I don't know.
I did something to this Marissa by accident. I'm sorry.
Let
She
me look.
does use a lot of filters. So does all of her friends. But I
I'll
don't
be
think
right back.
whatchamacallit uses a lot of filters. Um, at least I hope Biggin doesn't use a lot of filters because they just don't. They're not showing on her, but they show on Bree and Gypsy. I don't
Yeah,
know what I did with my comments here, but for some there, I guess I had to fix that.
I see it.
Hi Howard. Hi Kathleen. Just a little alien. Marianne. Marissa. Stacia. Jelly. Thank you.
Did you say we had somebody coming on today or did they back out?
I didn't know if I asked if people
Oh,
wanted
maybe
to
you
come
were
on.
just saying if anybody did. That's right.
Yeah, if somebody did, please, you know.
Well, you know, I know we talk about addiction and you just brought up this horrific story. I mean, does anybody else have anything um, regarding addiction recovery they want to talk about today? I know last week, I think we said we were going to talk about music or something if we had nothing else. um,
Uh,
maybe I, you know, maybe I'm,
no, I think we did.
yeah,
I'm just reading through the comments.
yeah.
No, I thought, Marissa, that I hid your comment by accident when I was trying to bring it up so that people could read it. I hit the button and I hit something and it looked like I hid your comment. So that's why I said I didn't mean for that. So yeah, I think because we were talking about John Lennon.
Right.
Uh, okay. So you could email me. That's fine. Stacia. It absolutely is. But you know, not only is music healing and all that, but like I just said about, movies and great movies. Not only do they take you out of a place for 2 hours, but they can inspire you to hold up a giant boom box in somebody's window and be romantic that way.
Yeah.
They We look at that, and I mean, we all say the perfect love story. Where do we get that from? I mean, seriously, that terminology, where do we get that from? We get that from books and films,
Yeah.
right? That's how we figure out how to love. I mean, we aspire to have that story in our life. Like I always say, Gypsy Rose is, it's not real for her, but she just aspires to have it. But there's people that actually work on it and want to have those types of relationships. And those movies, you know, um, again, we always have a chance to do good or bad, right? We
Right.
can spend, time creating hate, or we can spend time creating love. It's all a matter of what we want.
Right.
So, music is very important because it tells a story in such a shorter period of time, but it still inspires us to love. I mean, we can see our whole marriage in somebody's love song. As soon
Yeah.
as we say, that's a song I want to get married to, we see the dance and everything. We might not even see the person, but we see the dance. We see how we want to move. We see how we want to be held.
Yeah.
And so all of this stuff is important. And when creativeness gets silenced,
Yeah.
the world loses its color.
I don't know about all of you, but I could be in the car and I hear a certain song, and certain songs can make me very happy, and then there are others that take me to such a dark place, and sometimes I have to turn it off because it upsets me so bad. I mean, does everybody get like that, or is it just me?
Music is a time machine. It takes you to places just like a smell or
Mhm.
something.
You're right.
Depends on where we're at when we want to get there,
Yep.
you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, how certain people have a certain type of music they like. There are some people that just strictly like country music, some that just like rock, whatever. I like a little bit of everything. I don't have one particular type of music. I can go from country to rap. It's
right.
I like it all, I guess.
Me too. I have a very eclectic mix of stuff.
Yeah, me too. I just like a little bit of everything.
And here's the thing. I used to be like what I thought I would have considered myself a music snob, but I was music ignorant because when somebody tried to bring something into my life, I'm eating, so I apologize, but
No,
it's
it's all
been a
right.
bad day. Um, when I would I lost my train of thought. Oh, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
That's all right. It happens to me all the time.
Well, can you bring me back there?
Well, you were talking about something about music and somebody trying to bring you, I guess, to a dark place or something.
No, nobody was bringing me to a dark place.
I don't know.
Um, I, I don't know what I was saying. I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought. If I get it back, I'll let you guys know. I was looking in the comments and putting up stuff. Hmm. I don't know, man, but oh, musical ignorance, is that what I was talking about?
Oh, maybe.
I don't even know. I'm so sorry. Oh, what I was talking about was okay. When you talked about, yeah, it wasn't musical ignorance, guys. Thank you for calling it that. I called myself a snob, but I was wrong. So you were like, you're just ignorant. It wasn't. I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know. And I used to argue, like, especially at the time when I had just come out as a gay person, I was into all that club music. because I used to go to the club and dance. So I mean, like, and I have a friend, Phil, that I do the argument with. He would try to show me rock bands, and we would argue back and forth. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Well, later, I don't know how, but somebody else, I guess, came into my life, and through them, I was able to, allow myself to hear different types of music and such. And I'm glad that I've allowed that, because that's why my music in my iPad or iPhone is so eclectic, because people have turned me on to music. So I can look at something or listen to something and remember, wow, like Jen turned me on to a lot of stuff that I didn't know, probably because of the age difference. And some of the stuff I really liked, and some of the stuff I didn't. More of the stuff I really liked. And then we would find older artists together. We'd watch a movie, and Nina Simone, like, we knew who she was, not real sure of the music, but we watched that movie with the hell is her name? Bridget Fonda. Where she like is she becomes an assassin almost. And Point of No Return, I think it is. And Nina Simone was in that. So now I listen to Nina Simone, it brings me back to Jen. But, maybe if I didn't see that movie, I wouldn't have known about Nina Simone. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain things you like, not so much because and I love Nina Simone, so this isn't who I'm talking about. But some of the stuff you like just because of the memory, not because of the quality of music or that you like the music per se, but it brings you it reminds you of somebody.
Right.
So I think it's magical, because it definitely takes you to places in your mind like a good book would.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you could be driving down the highway in a really bad mood and play a song like Free Fallin' for, remember Jerry Maguire?
Mm-hmm.
That's a song that kind of makes you feel happy and inspired. Like, how can people be upset or cry or stuff when they hear songs by ABBA? Like, that is one of the most happiest bands possible. I mean, who doesn't sing Waterloo? Na 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 na, or Dancing Queen, or all of that. So, and I don't know. I just think that it all matters. You know what I'm saying? People's creativity not only works for them to get stuff out of their system, but it's a double gift, because it's not just for the artist, it's for the listener as well. And that's amazing.
Right.
That's a gift on its own when it's appreciated. And yeah, that's something. When it matters to somebody, when somebody takes somebody's writing and uses it as their wedding song.
Yep.
Yeah. What did you want to talk about music about?
I just, the fact that I don't have any one particular, I can't say, oh, I love this, right? I love it all. There's certain songs, like certain artists, I don't like everything they do, but a lot of their, like I pick and choose. I'm not a devoted fan to, well, anyone other than Nirvana or Lil Wayne. I would have left any husband I was ever with if any of them ever knocked on my door. But besides that, I can't say, oh, this is my favorite band, or that, because I like everybody, a little bit of everybody.
Mm-hmm. Well, my favorite band was the Beatles.
I love the Beatles too. Some of the Beatles. I don't like it all. Some. Like Hey Jude, or that other song. I think it's called In My Life or something.
That's my favorite Beatles song ever.
Yeah.
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 But I actually liked all of their stuff, because it showed how music had changed, or how they had changed music, because Rubber Soul and Revolver are among some of my favorite Beatle albums.
Yeah.
And then when you go ahead and you put Sgt. Pepper in there, that's a whole other type of music, and yet it's the same band, and it's the same band that was I Wanna Hold Your Hand, the poppy stuff too.
Yeah. Such
They
talent. Oh.
they definitely had I heard, no lie, you guys could probably look it up. I had a cassette tape
Mm.
that when I went to England the first time, I bought, English Beatles stuff, and there
Mhm.
was different stuff, and they were rapping before I knew what the fuck rap was. Like that, no lie, they were rapping about themselves,
Wow.
and before rap, and this was, I was what, 25 or something, so that was a long time ago, and that was, and the Beatles were already over. You know what I'm saying? So they ended in 70. That was
Mhm.
written before then.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what's sad about music right now, in my opinion? And I was thinking about this yesterday because, I watch, a lot of stuff on YouTube, and with the record album, the artwork on the record album,
Mhm. Yeah.
and how excited we would be to see a new album with the new artwork on it.
Oh, you mean like the cover,
Yeah,
right?
the
Yeah,
album
yeah, yeah.
covers, album
Oh, yeah.
covers, yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't even see them anymore. I mean, I haven't seen an album cover in I don't know how long, because everything I get is online now.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
There was such a whole thing, but what I am glad about as far as the music industry, honestly, is that the gatekeeping is over. It's over since social media.
Mhm.
If anybody has a desire, they can just grab a microphone, grab whatever instrument they want, and put it online. And if it
Yeah.
clicks, it clicks. And we've seen that. We've seen success from TikTokers that have written stuff and
Yeah.
YouTubers. We've seen it. So, like, the gatekeeping is over as far as that. And I love that. It's also over for the film industry too, because there's now communities where a writer could get together with a producer, that could get together with the director, that could get together with this person, that could get together with the casting, somebody that casts people. All of these people can get together and make their own movies and put it online now. So the gatekeeping is over, and I love that.
Yeah. What's going on in chat? I'm trying to keep one
I'm
eye over
looking.
there. I'm not good at it. I get lost.
I saw him in concert, Elton John. I saw him in concert
Wow.
in
Wow.
the 70s at the Hollywood Sportatorium in Hollywood, Florida.
Wow. My sister loves Elton John.
Yeah, saw him. Mm. What
I
was it?
remember, I'm sorry.
Mrs. Robinson, what was it? She said she remembers the first album.
Oh, wow.
I have an ashtray with the Beatles on it that my mom got me in England.
Oh, wow.
Dr. Hook. Remember Dr. Hook?
I don't. What is that?
He's a love song guy. What was his number one hit? You'll know the song. Trust me. You'll know the song.
Did anybody in the chat, any of you name like a pet or any of your children after a song that you loved or an artist?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, me too. I'm just wondering. I'm sure a lot of people have.
I use David Bowie songs.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about David Bowie. Sometimes you don't hear it in a long time, so you forget. So sometimes I go on YouTube and I update my playlist. and I add things that maybe I haven't thought of, and I add it to my playlist. But yeah, David Bowie is definitely got some cool
I
stuff.
saw him in concert.
Oh, did you?
Hmm. Uh-huh. I think it was the Glass Spiders tour.
Hmm.
I saw Van Hagar twice. I didn't like Van Halen, but Van Hagar, because I liked Sammy Hagar. Sorry.
Yeah. I know. I named my daughter Nikki after a Prince song, "Darling Nikki." Wasn't a very popular song. I don't think
No,
they ever played it on the radio.
I know that song.
Yeah, it's kind of like a, you know,
Uh-huh.
I don't know how to explain it. When she became an adult and she actually listened to it, she's like, "Mom,
Really.
that's what you named me after?" And it's just, I like the song, and that's what I decided.
That was in Purple Rain.
Yeah, yeah. And, it wasn't one that you heard on the radio or anything,
They
but
couldn't play it.
they couldn't. Yeah, but oh my gosh, I love it.
They play it now.
Yeah, I love that song. It's one of my favorites. I was in love with Prince too, but then he got started doing other stuff that I didn't follow. Um, so I decided if he ever came calling, I wouldn't go. But Kurt Cobain or Lil Wayne, they had me if they wanted me.
Okay.
Obsessed. I know, crazy, right?
No.
But
No.
yeah, music does that to you, though. It takes you away from your present sometimes, what you're dealing with. And that's okay.
All right, I'm done eating my breakfast.
Yeah, Prince did put on a good halftime show. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was raining and he still kept performing. I think, if I'm remembering correctly.
That guy was a musical genius. He could play any instrument.
Oh, I know. He was amazing.
Musical genius.
Yeah. Jamie, I have a big picture of Kurt Cobain, and I used to tell Corey that was his other grandpa. And he used to look at the picture. I still have it. I didn't hang it up yet. I was going to put it in my studio when I ever get done with it. But yeah, I love Kurt Cobain, that grungy look.
Yep. I like the sound. I loved the sound of
He was so
Nirvana.
talented. He really, he was amazing. Sad story with him,
Absolutely. And there are people that still think that his wife had something to do with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think, but I do know that he struggled with addiction and mental illness, and
So many artists still.
yeah, so
Because
sad. Such
and,
talent.
but here's the thing. Somebody said last week, right? And I've said it too, that people that are trying to numb themselves are people that are feeling things the most. So I think it's awesome. I saw Neil Diamond. I took my mom to see him.
Oh wow.
It was in the chat. That's what made me say it. But I think that I lost my train of thought again. I am just really I'm really just like I'm still just in a state of shock here about just the fact that we lost somebody who was there to help us in this in what's going through in the world today. And the division in this country, to lose somebody that was a fair guy,
Yeah.
just and especially somebody that stuck up for people that that needed a voice. Like these heroes, in my opinion, are dwindling. And when I say heroes, listen, some people could say no, he wasn't. Somebody that puts their whole career that they worked for online to stand up and say something about the world is setting themselves up for half of the people to hate them. to
Right.
lose people, and that is a hero. Because when some people think money is the most important thing, here's a guy who looked at that and said, I'll probably lose some, but that's okay.
Right.
And that's a hero right now in this world. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Well, somebody said I cried when John Ritter died. Listen, I had an engineer at my studio, obviously in Florida. When I had the recording studio, I had two engineers, but my first engineer was a guy who just adored Kurt Cobain, just like you said, has the same guitar as Kurt Cobain, everything.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, man, why don't you just do a cover band? You need to be in a cover band because you know all the music. You're a good Kurt Cobain anyway. Um, he was absolutely devastated when Kurt Cobain, and we know when Cobain died, how a lot of his fans and people that uh, got something out of the music he wrote and the songs that the lyrics he wrote. And just like when John Lennon died, I mean, when John Lennon died, man, of course I cried. I wanted to see the Beatles. You know what I'm saying? Like that was something that I always wanted to see in my lifetime, was the Beatles together, not a hologram of John and his voice, being from one of his songs and the Beatles added to it. So I think that these people that touch our lives through song or art, that's a good thing, right? Because it unites the fans, right?
Right.
Like almost like the chat here, but obviously a million times more because he was world known, Rob Reiner, and the artists that we're talking about.
Right.
It's very powerful.
Somebody asked if uh, do you think that Rob Reiner's son will claim he was abused by the parents or something?
Um, I don't know. Here's what I do know. Um, he's got other children, so he's got to fight for his life now, right?
Right.
So I don't know what that's going to look like for him, how that fight's going to be, but obviously he's going to fight for his life. He's going to have an attorney, and
Right.
let's hope he has the attorney has a bit more integrity than Mike Stanfield. Let's just pray for that, right? Because that's what I mean when I say, that's one good person gone in this world. We don't have a lot of good people left, you know what I mean?
No,
But when
no.
one fucking goes, it matters.
But I was always told a defense attorney doesn't have to believe their client. They just have to make a jury and judge believe
They
it.
can't lie for them, though.
Right. They can't.
Well, I believe Mike Stanfield lied. And a lot of people realize that Mike Stanfield lied, which was Gypsy's lawyer.
Right.
So all it takes is one bad person. The title doesn't even mean anything anymore. Look at the judge and the sheriff that shot the judge in oh God. What oh God, where was it? Kentucky, in Kentucky, right? I mean, would you expect a judge to have where he's more or less TRAFFICKNING women? I mean, that was a judge doing that. So I mean, these are just people when we and this is a good thing because this goes to what you've suffered with your family. All of these agencies, they're made up of individuals, right? They're made up of individuals, okay? So all you have to have is one effed up individual, and then where's the system work for you? How'd that work out for you then?
Right. Exactly.
So it's just yeah, it shouldn't be like that
No,
in
definitely
this
not.
world. It shouldn't be like that.
Nope.
I was talking to somebody, it might have been you. I don't know, who was I talking to? And they said more or less that they wish that there was like a robot that would almost like be a judge so that no emotions would get involved or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember who I
I
was
don't
talking
think
to.
that was me, but that wouldn't be a bad idea, maybe.
Yeah, but my thing was this. It is a bad idea. Let me tell you why. Because if one person programs that robot, then all of those, and they're not a good person, then 100% of the time the robot will fail in what we expect to be justice. Where if
Yeah.
it's an individual, they're going to have a good day on occasion.
Yeah.
So maybe 99 times it's shit, but the one day when they get their coffee right and everything is perfect and the sun's shining out of their ass, they might let somebody off that day that needed to be off that day. So,
Right.
it's kind of like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah.
I was watching this because um and I don't want to hear about it in the comments, but I am going to be covering the Idaho 4 case. I had a real passionate email from somebody who has sent me enough stuff to get me to look at it. And Jamie and I have talked about this before as well, the Brian Koberger
Yeah.
and
I
stuff.
saw something, I don't want to call it a documentary. It was probably like on 2020 or 48 hours or something. Not too long ago, I watched that, what they did about that. And it's crazy.
Yeah, but a lot of stuff has come out now. Like there's
Yeah, I'm
more stuff.
sure.
No, I mean he pled so that he's gonna end up in prison for the rest of his life. But here's the thing. So Idaho is gonna have by 2026, they're gonna have firing squad by execution.
Nice.
Well, here's the thing. They're not gonna have people. It's gonna be an automatic firing squad.
Oh, wow.
So the person's gonna stand or whatever, and yeah, like these bullets are gonna supposedly come out of nowhere. You could look it up. I watched something on it.
That's Idaho, you said? Or I'm
Yep,
sorry.
Idaho, firing squad. Capital punishment by fire. Firing squad. Yep, you can look at that.
I'm writing it down so I don't forget.
And yeah, it's an automated thing that doesn't have that is not gonna, because what they're claiming about is that it really is affecting the people that are pulling the plug or giving helping with that. It's affecting them because maybe they don't think that they did it. They have emotion in it. They still have to do it. But also, bye, Howard. I hope all is well, my friend. Um, it's just, yeah. So that's what they're gonna do. So I don't know.
I just wish
Or what,
every
we just start
state,
killing
everybody
people more
followed
and
the
more and
same
more?
rules. Like, I think we should all
Um, I know
same
we've talked about
crimes.
that, but there's stuff out now that really makes you question, or I'm sorry, let me speak for myself. That really makes me question, was he even there?
Yeah.
Because now that the stuff, he's locked up, but now they've lost the one piece of evidence that supposedly brought them together, and that was the touch DNA. Otherwise, they can't place him there, and this guy's now in prison for life.
Oh,
And
Marianne
there's a
just made me hungry. She's talking about she was making cookies and ran out of butterscotch chips. Now I want cookies. Oh, trying to follow the chat too. I'm sorry to interrupt.
nope, that's all right.
But yeah, a lot of people have thoughts on the death penalty, and you know, I don't believe, obviously, if someone is wrongly convicted, and I mean, that's a whole different story. But for those people committed a crime and whatever, I think we should be able to take them out. I think they shouldn't be here.
Yeah, well, when you have 100% proof,
Right.
then you have 100% proof. In your case, you had 100% proof, didn't you? The whole world saw what he did.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it happens in a lot of cases, and the person gets to go to prison for, a reduced amount of time, and then they get to come back out. And, then that puts the victim's family in fear, especially in certain cases where that that person's going to seek revenge. And, it's not fair.
No, it's not. And not just the victim's family. Yeah, they could certainly be in danger, but society is in danger when we
Yeah,
let these people go.
you're right. You're right. It's everybody. I mean, and, around here, I spoke about this, was that yesterday? And, our Trenton State Prison let out a bunch of people, and not just Trenton, but other, Governor Murphy, I don't know if you call it pardoned or gave clemency or whatever, to people that were convicted of horrible, horrible crimes, murder and other things. And now he let them out because he feels, I guess, they were rehabilitated or something. And I don't feel so good about that.
Yeah, no, nor do I. I I I don't understand. I don't understand what the fuck's going on. I don't understand how a president can just have a get out of jail free card in his pocket and let people that committed crimes like I yeah, I don't understand
None
it.
of it makes sense.
I don't understand it at all,
No.
and I don't want to. I don't even fucking want to understand it. If I'm honest with you, I don't want to understand why shit is excusable and why shit happens. I don't want to find an excuse or a reason for it.
Yeah. In the chat,
Hi, Matthew.
is it Gabrielle said 100% proof is when you say you did it? And some people are never going to admit it, but they did
And
it.
that's not 100% proof either, I have to tell you. Do you know how many people, because of the, and this is true, you can look it up, how many people say that they committed a crime and they didn't? I'm serious. That's why they don't give out all the information. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because they want to make sure that that person committed the crime because people are messed up and they'll say that they did something just to act like a tough guy, just because maybe they want to unalive somebody, but they don't have it in them. So I mean, you could look that up.
Yep.
So there's a lot of false confessions. I mean, what's so great about living in the United States right now when you can't afford it?
Yeah.
In jail, apparently, if you ask Gypsy Rose, I mean, shit, you could sleep all day. If you listen to some of these prison phone calls, that people are just on the phone forever and ever and ever, and they're not doing anything. I mean, they're just sitting there, three hots in a cot, commissary, big guy in cell block or big girl in cell block, and they have their own little world where they're a big deal in there,
Yeah.
and they have everything done for them. So, I mean, I don't understand that.
No, I mean, Toddie, they have iPads. They can
I
watch.
know.
What the hell? I feel like,
I never. That wasn't the way it is.
I mean, we're so concerned about not violating a defendant's rights, and it doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't.
I'm sorry about that. I'm hoping he's doing better.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
So here's somebody right here. Hi, Karen and Lisa.
Wow. Yeah. Isn't that something, having a
But she needs
tablet?
money for that. So somebody's giving her money for that.
Right.
So I'm not telling you what to do. It's none of my business. But when I hear Stefan Stearns' mom worried about him getting his books
Or his
and
root beer
her
things or
his
whatever.
root beer barrels,
I hope he chokes someone.
I mean, that somebody committed it. We know he committed it. There's pictures. We know he's not going to die there from lack of food. His root beer barrel. Let him read the Bible over and over and over again, because they'll give him a Bible. I think that they'll even give him a newspaper. They might take some part out of it, but I think that they do, if I remember correctly. Maybe I don't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. So you have to buy the tablet though, right, Kara and Lisa? You have to buy no videos cost money, that's for sure, but phone calls are free. Yeah, but you're paying for them, aren't you, or aren't you?
I mean, I
When
have
a
to
phone
put,
call comes, I'm sorry, but when a phone call comes, as far as I know, they ask you, but I don't know how the tablets are. I would assume that everybody's out to make money. I can't believe that somebody's not paying for those phone calls. Somebody's paying for something about them.
I mean, I have an account with JPay to get phone calls from inmates, so you have to pay for it. It's not, definitely isn't free. They have to pay for them on their end if you don't accept or whatever, but I have an account so an inmate can call me, because I'm waiting for a certain inmate to call me.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm
yeah,
trying to
you
I'm
have to
trying to
pay
read
for it.
the comment.
Yeah.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Jen needs to be right in there. No, they supply them. No, I know that I know that people are paying for tablets. Maybe not where she was at, but that would be the first place. I
Yeah.
know that
I
they
don't
pay
know.
for the tablets. You
I
have
don't
to
know.
buy those tablets. I know you do. I mean, when I've watched these inmates, these ex-inmates like JSP, Jumpsuit Pablo, and the other guy that never wears a shirt. I think he lives in Florida with his wife. So they were there. Well, we know that Wade Wilson had to buy a tablet because he said he needed the money. Maybe he's full of shit. But even Jumpsuit Pablo said something about. So I guess it depends on where they're at.
Yeah, I don't know. Any experience I've had with county jail and stuff in prison, the inmate either has money on their account to make a call, or the person they're calling has to have like a JPay account, jail calls, account.
Right.
That's here in New Jersey. It could be different where Karen and Lisa, where they are, may be different, but here I know you have to have. But they don't call for free, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I believe you. I do. I believe you. I've never heard of it. I'm not certainly not calling you a liar.
Oh no, I'm
Please
just
know that.
saying how it is here, but where she is, where it could be different, obviously, everything, but I know here in New Jersey how it works,
Yeah. Let's see. I think in Florida, I don't know what same here meant as far as that goes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anybody have anything in the comments that they want to say? Anybody want to come on? Anybody? Anybody? Okay.
How many more days till Christmas? Do we know? I don't even know what the,
10.
oh, is it 10? Today's 15th then, right? I just want to say, if I can, getting back to addiction, I just remember, Christmas and holidays coming up, and I would wonder, am I going to see Gino? Where is he? What condition is he going to be in? And I hated it. It was so tough, to deal with. But I would always buy the Christmas gifts in hopes that I would see him. And I always did. I might have to go to him,
Hmm.
but I just hated those times.
Yeah, trying to anticipate how somebody's going to be when you see them, because you want to be excited to see them, but you don't want to be let down.
Right. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, Toddie, you were thinking about a Christmas chat?
Yeah, I was thinking that somebody, yeah, I was yeah, doing a Christmas live stream. I was asking people what time would work for them and if they wanted to do it.
Yeah, me personally, I just have, my two grown kids that live in the house with me. And then my other daughter, Bree, would be coming over early morning with the baby and her fiance to open gifts. And then they're going to be gone. And then I'm free the rest of the day. We do everything Christmas Eve, or whatever. And then Christmas Day is pretty much, we'll have breakfast with Bree. And then once she leaves, I'm just kind of hanging around. I'll cook dinner later in the day. So I'm pretty much free, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. So, what time works for everybody? You tell me.
You guys decide, and I'll be there. I'll make it, work for me. Mrs. Robinson says she'll be alone on Christmas Day. No, you'll be with us. You won't be alone.
Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay.
And I'm going to tell you guys, I don't get dressed on Christmas either. So just a warning. I don't know what I'm going to look like. I will probably still have my Christmas pajamas on because we'll put those on Christmas Eve. We all have matching, the whole family, including the dog.
Cool.
But the cat won't let us put him in pajamas, so he doesn't get any.
Mm. So people are saying noon or 1. So I could do 1 o'clock.
It works for me.
1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Christmas. Well, you can come up anytime you want to come up.
Yeah, I would love to hear some of the stories, because I dealt with this with Gino, and I would love to hear. They're probably very similar. Didn't Karen and Lisa, didn't she come up once, or no? Am I
Yep.
wrong?
Well, we had a couple Lisas, I believe, that came up.
Oh, okay.
It's Kara.
Oh, Kara, I'm sorry.
That's
Toddie,
okay.
I don't see well.
You have to leave at 1. Oh, God.
Oh,
Okay, well, let's do it at noon. Started at noon to 2. How's that?
sounds good.
Okay. So it'll be from noon to 2, guys. Christmas, noon to 2.
Yeah. Noon works for me. I could do that too.
Okay. Yep. Well, if anybody doesn't have anything to say, I could probably get some stuff done around here. Like I
That's
need to
fine
get
with
some
me.
I need to get some propane, and I need to get some snow off my car. I need to take Danny back out because it was too cold for her earlier. So yeah.
Yeah. So then we'll just plan to be here next week, and maybe we'll get somebody on to talk about some things. And if not, we'll just talk.
Absolutely. Guys, I thank you as always for allowing time for us. And anybody that has a story, I mean, please reach out to me at toddie1skip@gmail.com or Rebecca Michelo 3, right? At
Yep.
gmail.com.
And I want to add, if anybody wants to talk about just their stories about addiction and stuff, and they don't want to come on, I'm always open to talk, because we can, I don't want to say compare stories, but I'm always open and willing to talk about my experience, and it helps if other people talk, So if anybody ever just wants to reach out just to talk, I'm here. It doesn't have to be made public. I don't repeat what you tell me. So, I mean, I'm here if you just want to talk and you're not ready to come up live. So just putting that out there.
Yep.
Well, everyone have a good week. It was good seeing everybody again. Like I said, this makes my day. I enjoy this and look forward to this. So I'm happy you were all here.
Well, Brandon, anytime you want to come up, I'm serious, and tell your story. I mean, please.
Definitely.
I mean, just reach out to me and we'll send you a link. You could if you want to cover your face, whatever you want to do. If you want to come up as somebody else and not you, you could do that. That's fine. I mean,
Nobody
I
has to
don't.
show their face.
Yeah, Kara. Did you Kara and Lisa? Did you want to come up now? So, do you want to come up now? So you can come on up. I hope you do, Brandon. Somebody else said something now too, guys. Why do you wait till? I mean, I'm fine with it. Listen. This is a success story here. We'd love to have you come on. You're 7 years clean. That's
Most definitely. Congratulations on that. That's a big
you
deal.
know, excellent. Okay, next time. Well, you can reach out to me, or you can always come in the chat. I'll drop a link now for Kara and Lisa. And before you come up, you'll cover your face. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has to see your face.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is Kara going to come up now? Kara and
Well, that's what they said. She said,
Okay.
I thought she said yes. She said yes. I was up before. Okay. Or maybe she was just answering that. I don't know if they're coming up. You're very welcome, Brandon. We'll do our best to stay cozy as possible, for sure.
Yes, definitely.
I don't know if that was to come up today or if she was just answering your question.
Oh,
Maybe
all right.
it's to come up next week. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Well, then if nobody's coming up, I guess we can call it a day. Just
Yep. That
see
works better
everybody
for me, if I'm honest with you, this week. It just works better for me this week. I'm just not feeling it. I hate to say that.
No, it's okay, Toddie. You're human. You're allowed to have feelings and have an off day. I mean,
Kara and Lisa wrote next week. So maybe we'll have 2 speakers next week. That will be awesome.
That's great. Looking forward to it.
All right,
well,
guys.
Everybody, stay warm and safe, and we'll see you all next week.
All right, guys. Be well. Take care. And thank you.
Bye.
God bless you guys.